Deep Thoughts with Marilyn Chambers. 12 minutes after 5 o'clock here on the Joe Brosk Hour here, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to chime in, by all means, we'd love to hear from you. I had a court arrangement last night. I had to go to it. Pressing business. And I wanted to make certain that I was on the road and there. So once all that clears up, it's a traffic infraction. And it happened down in Pulaski. Actually, I don't know where it happened. It happened near Pulaski. That's where I had to go. So I walk into the courthouse yesterday, and I'm sitting there, and there's all types of people waiting there. And I mean all types of people waiting there. One dude was from Jefferson County. He had the best-looking mullet I've ever seen in my life. Good representation. So he was cool. He was standing there. We're all being good citizens. Of course, we're there for the wrong reasons, but nonetheless, that's why we appear at courthouses. It's an old place, right in smack downtown Pulaski, right across from the gazebo. So I'm looking out, and I see this man dressed in black, good-looking dude, not a hair out of place. And, no, it wasn't Jim Levin. So I look up, and I see, boy, this dude looks familiar. He looks like Eddie Munster about, 40 years later. A good-looking Eddie Munster at that. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who used to be the anchor man of Channel 7 is now an attorney in Central New York, more particularly in Pulaski, Mr. Tom Christopher. He took a quick look at me. I think he might have recognized me, but he was busy with the family that was there for pressing business. So, it's good to see that, let's face it, Tom Christopher, at one point, everyone thought that the greatest and best job in the world is to be an anchor man or anchor woman at Channel 7, which it still is. But when he left for that ridiculous fight that he had with the former anchor woman, and it turned into what was a national story, actually made it to the Today Show, you know what? He picked up the pieces and he made something better out of life. One thing about Tom, he made everyone know that he was an anchorman, if you know what I'm talking about. Back in the days of Jaspers, he wasn't just an anchorman, he was a Rolling Stone. Now he's an attorney dressed in black, and I tell you, with perhaps the difference of maybe gaining a few more pounds, he looks exactly the same, and I got to figure he's using Grecian Formula 16. God bless him. I did the same thing this past weekend. People looking at me. I don't know about you, but if you get your hair color out of a box, or if you like Jim Levin and you spend $100 down in New York City because that's just the thing to do, you got to get stares the next day. And I tell you what, I came walking in. I got it done Sunday night. I get in here, and we got a fashion designer, Vanessa Webb, in the building, and she was the first one to notice. Then yesterday I'm sitting there, and I'm making comments about how on Friday night I saw the last edition of the Indiana Jones series that had just come out maybe a year or two ago. And I just said, boy, Joe, this was terrible. He says, well, Joe Brosk said he heard the same. I said, this movie is just horrible. And how they can think that this broken down Harrison Ford, can continue to do this stuff like Indiana Jones did back in the 80s. It's just ridiculous. He's broken down. He's not broken down. Actually, Harrison Ford's in greatest shape. Hopefully, I'll be in that shape with him at his age. But as an action hero, it just seemed very apparent that he was just out of place. So, boy, I'm all out of it today. So Joe looks at me. He says, "Oh, look at yourself in the mirror. You're also broken down." Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. So, long story short, Joe comes walking back into the room. He says, "Did you do something to your hair? Guys don't notice that type of stuff. Did you do something?" I said, "You know what, Joe? I was so broken down yesterday, and I'm just a broken old piece of crap. I figured I'd do something to my hair." Yes, I did. But I did it yesterday, so I must be really broken down. Hi, Ernie. I can help you.
Hi, Glenn. Joe Stanley.
Joe Stanley, ladies and gentlemen.